Okay, home from Buffalo from the Battleground 2013 pay-per-view, and I made the last video totally bashing it, saying how bad it was going to be, and I must say it was not a lot better, but it was better than what I expected. I went in expecting a very, very poor show and came out with a bad show, not a totally poor show. Big difference there. But I'll just go over my experience before, even before I even entered the building. We got there about 2 hours before because there's a restaurant across the street that a lot of people go to, whether they go to a Buffalo Sabres game or a wrestling pay-per-view. And this restaurant, it's called the Pearl Street Grill, and they had a private party. Someone, I guess, booked the whole upstairs place. So you only had one level to suit, I guess, I would say, maybe 5,000 people would go there because the place is constantly, people are coming in or going out. So their wait time was an hour to an hour and a half. And luckily we got there at not a bad time, but a time where we had to wait at least 35 minutes. And the reason we didn't just leave was because where we were parked, it's an easy access to the highway, and leaving that spot, it would be pretty bad. So at the merch stand, there was no one at the merch stand since it was 2 hours before the show. I got this gem Battleground paper, the official Battleground T-shirt. There's ironic, they have the WWE title, which promised to find its rightful owner tonight, and it did not. And you got an old school match card on the back. So got that. 35 bucks. I was like, well, I remember when t-shirts used to be 20 and 25. This one was big old 3.5 for that t-shirt. So paid that, never gonna wear it, just adding it to the collection. So we got to the building, and first thing you see, you go up the elevator, and where you can pose for the WWE magazine was Bob Backlund. He was had a bunch of 8x10s, signing them, taking pictures, kissing babies, and just a very geek thing to do. I looked at him, I'm like, man, Bob, what are you doing? But people were taking pictures. He was putting people in chicken wings. But I just walked by, took a picture. It's on my Facebook. Links in the description box. So pay-per-view started with Del Rio and RVD. It was no, actually, well, the pre-show even. People were all into Dolph Ziggler. They hated Damien Sandow. So there, you knew the crowd was going to be something, but could have been a lot better, I think. But Damien Sandow lost, and people loved Dolph Ziggler. Like, there was push Ziggler signs, and people were chanting Ziggler the whole time. So, whatever. And Sandow said, oh, if the next match goes the way he wants it to, he might be coming back out for another appearance, hinting a cash-in, but no, did not cash in. But the hardcore match was good, a couple of good spots, and crowd was into it also. But it seemed like they were most into it when there was a huge chair shot or table spot or whatever spot was coming up. A hardcore spot is when they really popped, and so otherwise they were fine, mediocre, I guess. Then we had the real. Well, I don't think this is even in order. I'm on WWE.com. And it says that the Real Americans versus what's his name, Santino and Great Khali. This match was highlighted by a giant swing, an amazing giant swing, and everyone knew it was coming. Everyone stood up, and everyone went crazy when he did that. Other than that, I don't remember anything besides Khali struggling to get into the ring. Poor guy's gotta sit in a wheelchair like Heyman is. Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella, another match that was very, very shit. Live and I would imagine coming off TV. People were people sitting behind us, they were just the total biggest marks, like, what is she doing? She can't run the ropes. This match is going on too long. This is that. And although I agree, I'm like, man, I hate wrestling. I really do have a very bad, tasteful dislike for wrestling fans. Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston. It was a fine match. I can't see Bray Wyatt going more than 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes for a match, because I think he should be positioned in a way that he just runs over guys like a train, and he did that whole exorcist walk, which was kind of weird. Like, this is Jade's second time seeing him wrestle, and is not very. She calls him the hit guy, so at least he's coming off okay. But just very odd looking fellow. Curtis Axel versus R-Truth. I missed this match because I went to take a piss, so can't say much about that one. Match of the night was the Rhodes family versus the Shield. Great match. Crowd was into it. Goldust's face paint was amazing. Like, I think it told a story in of itself. You had the black and just more black kind of showing. I think it was telling the seriousness of the situation. And they cut the promo before the match, which was great also. But anyone, if anything, you watch this pay-per-view, just go out of your way to see that match. And CM Punk versus the Ryback. It was fine, just like their other matches they've had last year. Only thing is that this finish kind of came out of nowhere and a very unclimactic finish where it was just a low blow and a pin. You can tell from the crowd it was kind of a delayed cheer because it was like 1, 2, 3, and the crowd's like, did Ryback just get pinned by a low blow? And oh, he did. Hey, let's cheer for CM Punk. But I really expected more from this match considering it has been built as pretty much the second or third most important match of the show and your main event, where we were the power outage. The power went out during the promo video for Bryan and Orton, and Triple H was just in the middle of saying, do you think just because, and then the Titantron went out, the lights are all gone, and everyone's looking around thinking that, something's going to happen or someone's going to return, but nothing happened. And I'm looking at the announcers and Lillian Garcia, and she, reading her lips, she says, oh no. And I think she's trying to explain to people what's going on. You can tell something happened with the power since the lights weren't on, obviously. And Brad Maddox comes out, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, the power outage will be back in 3 minutes. And I kid you not, to my left, down a couple rows, there was a guy who had a sign, 2 big signs that read, did someone say 3 minutes? And they popped so hard when he said that, and they start flaunting their signs because it was a coincidence, that's for sure. They start holding the sign up, they're shaking, oh yeah, we called it. And Jerry Lawler and JBL all acknowledge the sign, they point at it, and then King's like shaking his head like in disbelief, like what the hell's going on. And even Lillian's like showing all the people working, like, oh look at that, look at their sign. And people are taking pictures of the sign. It was kind of crazy. It was the first thing that's ever happened at a live show. Usually WWE is really good with keeping their lights on and not having power outages, but you can't stop, you're unstoppable. But the match, it was fine. It was, I thought it was going to get cut, but it didn't get cut too much. It was their typical Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan match. Had the ending, obviously, with Big Show coming out. And I thought they were going to do it. Big Show was going to punch Bryan Orton pins, but I don't know. He punched both of them, and the show ended. And everyone's sitting there, everyone's waiting. Big Show's music plays. We're still sitting there, we're still waiting for something to happen. And you see that little copyright 2013 WWE production thing, and it's like, huh? And I got up, and I left. And I heard there was a slight bullshit chant started as I was walking out of the building. But slowly people, I think, got the hint, and Daniel Bryan did a little thanking the fans for coming out, and he promises one day he'll get the belt. And that was it. The show was okay. The main event was was very, I don't know. They didn't live up to their promise. Triple H said there was going to be a champion. There ain't no champion. All they got was Big Show throwing 2 punches, and Brad Maddox looking very upset, and Big Show looking very pissed. Fine. 5.5 out of 10. Live. It was fine. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. The Rhodes family match was great. Everything else was fine. That's all I can say. I'll see you guys in the next video.